Juarez, Mexico. 2008, just 8 miles southwest of El Paso, Texas. In this notoriously violent border town, Dr. Alejandro Hernandez Cardenas develops a groundbreaking new technique in forensic science. By using a secret chemical formula, he is able to rehydrate the flesh of unrecognizable homicide victims, including bodies that were mummified after years of being dried out in the hot desert climate.
Out of sort of compassion or concern for the huge number of unidentified bodies in Juarez, he figured out a solution that you can place a mummified corpse in. The corpse becomes recognizable in terms of identifying scars or tattoos.
The naturally mummified corpses are put in a tank that Dr. Cardenas refers to as the jacuzzi, which holds 60 gallons of his secret formula. Over the course of a few days, the shriveled remains are rehydrated to look almost lifelike. But as astounding as his formula is, it's not the first time science has attempted to, in some way, restore a mummified body. In 1968, Robert Connolly, a researcher from the University of Liverpool, attempted to virtually regenerate the blood of a completely mummified body. Only this mummy was 3,300 years old. It was the mummy of Egypt's most famous pharaoh, King Tutankhamun. Connolly's method was to combine antigens taken from a skin sample of King Tut with his own blood cells.
Connolly is actually type O, which means you don't have any antigens on your blood cells. He was actually able to put the antigens from King Tut on his sort of clean slate of a blood cell. So then recreating whatever blood type the mummy had, mix those red blood cells with different blood types. And if it's not the correct blood type, what you get is sort of clumping of the blood cells because there's an immune response against them. But if it's the correct blood type, then you don't see any sort of immunological response. And so in that way, they were able to figure out which blood type King Tut possessed.
Since Connolly's experiment, scientists have gone even further and discovered what they believe is King Tut's true DNA. Could the next step be an actual resurrection? Was the preservation of the body not just a ritualistic attempt to imitate alien visitors, but an actual form of suspended animation? But if so, how could they have foreseen such incredible scientific advancements thousands of years ago?
It is possible that the ancient astronauts taught the Egyptians that mummification was a way of preserving their genetic information in the DNA.
This makes it possible to clone ancient mummies and, in a sense, bring them back to life.
It is possible that at some point in the future, if your body had been successfully mummified, that these ancient extraterrestrials were well aware that a clone of who you were before could then be reborn many years later. And is it possible that with the magnificence of the DNA and with all the information that it contains, that you might also come back with the memories of what you lived and who you were and what you knew the last time? And that may be the purpose which will actually be used in the future, not yet present, but with a technology that we are very rapidly acquiring.
Could our ancestors really have been taught the process of mummification by extraterrestrial beings? Was it their intention that we would eventually develop the technology to retrieve the DNA of the ancient mummies and restore them to life? And if we do, might we discover that these human time capsules hold the secrets to our very origins? Perhaps one day, we will truly be able to reanimate the dead. And from these ancient mummies, we will learn the truth about our alien ancestors.